Good evening. Despite climbing COVID cases and a plea from the medical officer of health, Peel Region is moving into a red zone tomorrow, which means indoor dining and gyms can reopen. Never has the push and pull of politics versus the pandemic versus the economy been more on display.
The numbers that we're seeing in Peel and specifically Brampton, they're just going through the roof. It's out of control right now.
And yet, restrictions for Peel are being relaxed from a modified stage 2 to a red zone, which means as of tomorrow, restaurants can reopen for indoor dining under strict guidelines with a maximum of 10 patrons, and gyms can also open, against the recommendations of Peel's medical officer of health, who says there has been a spike in hospitalizations. He asked for Peel to stay in a more restrictive modified stage 2 for at least another week.
We're probably one of the hardest hit areas in the whole country.
The Ford government's new color-coded pandemic framework has been criticized by some health professionals and epidemiologists as being too relaxed. To be in a red zone, the step before a full lockdown, a region has to have 100 cases per 100,000 and a 10% positivity rate. Brampton, which is in Peel Region, has 170 cases per 100,000 and an 11% positivity rate. The Ford government says while Peel's medical officer of health wanted greater restrictions extended, both Mississauga's and Brampton's mayors wanted to be put in an orange zone, which would loosen them even more than the red zone.
I think it was a relatively fair compromise, again, trying to keep businesses going to a certain degree.
There is no middle ground. This isn't fair. It's a pandemic.
Dr. Michael Warner is the head of critical care at Michael Garron Hospital.
But it doesn't make any sense to loosen restrictions when things are actually getting worse. Premier Ford is not listening to the medical experts. He didn't listen to Dr. Eileen Davila when she wrote her letter on October 2nd asking for modified stage 2, and he didn't listen to the local medical officer of health for Peel Region when he asked to remain at the current level of restrictions. If he isn't listening to the doctors with expertise in public health, then we are not going to get through this pandemic very easily.
This morning, a government source told me the Premier backed keeping Brampton. Sorry, let me start that again. This morning, a source told me that the Premier backed keeping Brampton in a modified stage 2 and moving the rest of Peel to the red zone. That was going to be debated by Cabinet. Something clearly changed. Tonight, the Ontario Hospital Association said the move to relax restrictions in Peel was reckless and called for the decision to be reversed, given the powerful evidence of spread.